Speaking freedom. Speaking freedom. Giving you the answers to be free. Be free. Be free. 'Cause we're speaking freedom.
So I just got finished doing a podcast with my girl, um, Candidly Christian. And it was so crazy because it was about love and relationships. And these are all coaches that are on this conversation. So they like, I believe that you should go on relationships. I mean, you should go on dates and immediately start talking about all of your expectations and what you're looking for and what you want. And I'm sitting here like, man, I'm the exact opposite. If I meet somebody, even if I believe they have potential to be a mate, I believe they have to have the potential to be a friend first. So instead of immediately meeting someone and thinking,
Well, I'll just make him want me and I'll say all the right things and he'll just fawn over me.
I am more of the person that is more laid back. Let's meet. Let's converse. Let's see if we have things in common, not trying to find things in common, not like a guessing game of what you like or what I like and what we expect. I don't want that. I want it to just be, hey, I think you're a nice person. I would like to get you to know you more. And then let's go out. When we go out, we're going to talk about, so what do you do for a living? How do you like, you know what I'm saying? What you do to hang out? What do you have? How do you have fun? You're going to address certain things in general conversation. Because you're not going in, it's not a business meeting. So you're not going in talking about business. You go in literally and you're off top thinking,
Hey, how are you doing? What do you like to do? So, are we like
if you're actually at a place, then you are engaging in that activity. You're talking about things that interest you. You're talking about things that go. What do you do for a living? You're gonna talk about your job. You're gonna talk about your children. You might talk about your family for a minute. You might talk about travel and vacations that you've taken. You may talk about things that you've done recently. You may just enjoy the moment, but I don't want to go in with the expectation of,
well, these are the things that I like. These are the things that I don't like. And if you don't add up, then I don't want nothing to do with you.
I think that's just detrimental because you can run guys with potential off that may not have been exposed to the things that you are interested in, that you are thinking of, or any of those things. So if a person hasn't been exposed to something and you're already with expectations, then you can run them off. And then you also create the sense of the person not being naturally themselves anymore because now they're going to try to do things to impress you. So that's my biggest thing when and with dating. Excuse me, is making sure that you don't put yourself in a position where you're doing things with people who are literally seeking to impress you. Like, you're not doing this because you just really want to do this or you're just really interested in this. You're doing this because you want me to see you do this and to be enthralled with it. And like when you start, this is how people end up getting manipulated. And a lot of love coaches and life coaches probably don't know this if they've never studied psychology, because oftentimes people get manipulated because they go in saying all of their expectations. They go in with all of, well, you got to do this and this is what I want, and then these people create a narrative based on what you say you want versus it being a narrative based off of who they truly and sincerely are. So it was kind of funny because every time that they was talking about different stuff, I was always like, I think I'm a little bit different. I think I might be totally opposite because when I go on a date, I'm just trying to chill. I'm not going into meeting somebody new looking for a relationship. I'm not going in looking for you to be my match or my perfect person. But I think the thing that threw me off the most is that as soon as somebody came, when she brought up whether poly or monogamy is a thing, my stance is that monogamy is who monogamy is for. Poly is for who poly is for. Both of them have their respective places, and when handled correctly, either relationship could work. But all of them are um, going to take work. Like the people on the show is like, well, when you get into poly, it's normally something is wrong with you. It's some seeking. They're looking for something. They're looking for more than what the next person got. They don't want. Just because I want something different from you doesn't mean that something is wrong with me. It just means that I like things that's different than what you like. And it is so crazy because it's dangerous because people always project that if you want something that's not in alignment with what I'm doing, with what I got going on, then it has to be something wrong with you because you like something different. So they was like, well, I think that uh Dr. Casey sees things a little bit differently. Yes, because y'all are being judgmental. And then as soon as they got finished, this is what they said.
Well, I didn't say that something was wrong with the people.
Nigga, that's exactly what your ass just got there said. You literally just said that they're looking for something. There's something going out. It's something else. Then you know what I'm saying. What you think that it is, and a lot of times people aren't great communicators. People don't know what they want. So if somebody else knows that they want something different, then that is a problem for them. It's just very interesting. I think from the aspect of studying psychology, from the aspect of um being also a love and sex coach and a sex educator and actually doing case study work. So case study work is the fact that I literally and not figuratively, but I literally go and I join rooms, groups and chats with people that like different things than I like, or have different interests or some of the similar interests. I like to hear from people in these particular situations. A lot of people that want things that's different than what you want, they aren't hurt. They aren't going through anything. They just simply like something different. It's like, you like orange, I like red. If I like red, that doesn't mean that something is wrong with me because I like red. I just like red. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make me wrong for liking red. Or when people say they got a favorite color, most people have one favorite color. I have two. I've always been a fan of purple I'm sorry. My one favorite color is purple. But the reason why purple is my favorite color is because I've always liked both red and blue. And when combined, red and blue makes purple. But a lot of people think that, if you like something other than what the narrative of society says that you should like, then something has to be wrong with you. You have to be missing something at home. No. Poly in any form is very, very old. It is not something new. It's not modern. And a lot of people are in poly relationships that don't know they nigga cheating. Their daddy was cheating on their mama, and their granddaddy was cheating on their grandmama. And I'm not saying that to be hurtful, spiteful, or anything else. It's just the reality. Just because a person don't get caught cheating or they're not doing it in the open doesn't mean that it's not being done. It just means it is not being done on the forefront. It's not being done where people can see it. It's not being acknowledged, maybe. But grandpa ain't have outside children without getting some outside pussy. Listen, grandmama ain't had 2, 3 different baby mamas or 2 different baby daddies or 5 or 6. How back then they was having multiple children. They wasn't on no birth control. They wasn't doing none of that shit. So like the reason why that happens is because people are having extramarital affairs. It's just there was a time, unlike the time that we're in now, where getting divorced, especially for church people, it was discouraged. So even if somebody beat you, hurt you, you know what I'm saying, even if they cheated on you, your bishop, your leader, and all of those people would tell you to stay in that relationship. It'll get better. And some people stayed and it got better. Some people stayed and it didn't, but they stayed. And a lot of times we be like, oh, we want this person's relationship. We want that person's relationship. Well, grandmama and them got cheated on too. They just stayed in the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't leave. And a lot of times we have a fantasized state of mind in which we think that other people's relationships are perfect or all these other things. And we don't even realize that they struggle too. They just don't do it openly. Other people have issues too, and this is the thing, especially when it comes to like celebrities and things like that. People think that because it's a celebrity, because they have money, that they don't have issues. No, they probably got more issues than the people that think they got issues, because they got monetary issues in most cases. And when I say monetary issues, I'm not talking about bills and shit. I'm talking about people trying to sue them, people trying to use them, people trying to abuse and manipulate them. It is a broke person's life on a magnetized scale. You know what I'm saying? Like, people think that money just makes life better, but sometimes it doesn't. It adds more stress. It adds more covetousness. It adds more jealousy and envy and strife. It adds you having to look over your back a little bit more, because now you're financially in a place where people would look to I want to say dismantle you, but not dismantle you. More so people will look to take advantage of you. They want the benefits of being, of it being beneficial. And then they were talking about so on the show they was also talking about how situationships are normally detrimental, but friends with benefits can grow into something. And I'm thinking like, nah, friends with benefits, it is what turns something into a situationship, because it is when you try to be friends with benefits that make you start to catch feelings, that make you be like, okay, well, we're going to do a little bit more, but it ain't going to be a relationship. That's a situationship. Oftentimes people think that screwing somebody with bad expectations is what makes a situationship. Well, it's some relationships that's really situationships, because you got one person that's wanting and expecting and hoping for one thing, and another person that's doing their own goddamn thing. You see it all the time. And then we fantasize on what we idealize somebody else's relationship is, not even realizing that their highlight reel, the things that they show and they post, are not the baddest times. They're not posting when is you know what I'm saying, when they fighting, or when it's an all out war in their house, or when they doing silent treatment. They ain't fucking with each other like that. Most people don't post that. They don't post that until the relationship over, and then it's like, oh, well, the relationship over now, so now we gonna talk about all the things that I put up with. And at that point, it's pointless, other than saying, hey, you know what? Y'all thought this relationship was a shit, and it was bullshit. That's the only shit that it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times, it's and it is more prone to be this way because of social media And a lot of times the content that people use on social media is really more so of advertisements than anything else. So you thinking that you getting somebody's real life and they just advertising for the sake of selling the lifestyle so that you will buy into it, so that you will get whatever it is that they selling, so you will be tapped into their brand and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Hi, I'm Dr. Kaci, not your typical clinical doctor. I am an ordained minister, but not your typical minister. I am also a certified life coach, love coach, sex coach, solution focused coach, transformation coach, and more. I have a whole lot of information that I would like to help you grow with. And I hope that soon I can help you be the best you that you can be. Confidence, spirituality, and purpose. That's wholeness, complete.
it is easy to be on the outside and be like, man, they got the life that I want. I would love that life. Versus being in that life and be thinking like, this is some bullshit. This is not what I thought this life was going to be like. You know what I'm saying? So before you envy somebody's lifestyle or think that, you know, a relationship over there is perfect or that there is a perfect relationship, there is no perfect relationship, okay? There is a relationship that works for you. There's a relationship that will be good for you. It's not based on any expectations. It's about you naturally being who God created you to be, and then being that in a way where somebody else can see it and be like, you know what? Damn, I love that about you. Can we be friends? And then, you know, after being friends, well, damn, can we be more than friends? And then after being more than friends, damn, you know, where do you want to take this to? But those type of things shouldn't be first date things. I don't want nobody that's on the first date talking about, well, yeah, I want to get married by the next 2 years. Like, what if it takes longer for us to come to a point to where we are that in love? I'm not getting married just so that I can say that I'm married. Like, I think I've done that before and it wasn't successful. It wasn't what I desired for it to be. So at this point, I just feel like, you know, I want to do things a whole lot differently. It ain't no I want to do things slightly differently. It's I want to do things totally differently. So I want to meet somebody and just become friends. And when I met my ex-husband, I don't think that there was any expectations. But there was, because that's when I was in the church deep. So it was like, all right, what are you doing? You coming there because you want to marry me, or because you know what I'm saying? What you trying to do? And then that's when people put on those airs and they be trying to be what you need them to be, because they may be trying to fuck, but they may want to marry you. Like me and my ex-husband, we did not sleep together before we got married. The shit still didn't work. So I'm having sex when I find somebody else that I want to be with. And, you know, I don't want it to be a fling, but there is no guarantees when it comes to love, sex, or relationships. So you have to take it for what it is, hope for the best, and then be okay no matter what happens. That's pretty much the way that has to go in order for you to be comfortable in your own skin, for you to be able to keep your sanity, and for you to be able to have peace within. Like, if you go in with expectations, you could be married quick. And it could work long term, but it could also not. And I'm not saying that in a pessimistic way. I'm saying if you go in head first, you might bump your head if you jump in the shallow end. And I'm laughing, not because I'm laughing at anyone, but just thinking about, you jump in head first. And if you jump in the shallow end of a pool head first, guess what? you're going to hit your head or your face. That's why they say no diving in the shallow end. Because if you dive in head first and it's shallow, where you diving to? Where you going? You gonna break your wrist, your hand, your something, So that's how it is when you think about marriage and what do you want to do with yourself long term. Because if you jump in to anything too fast, you're definitely bound to hurt yourself. And sometimes it's okay to move slow. Like, everybody is in a rush to get married because you feel like if you don't have somebody, you're wasting life or missing out. And the truth of the matter is, if you get to rushing in with somebody and you think, oh, well, I'm just going to get married and it'll work out, it'll work itself out. Most times people get married like that and then they be miserable trying to work through the shit that they should have worked through before they got married. It's so many people that get married quick. They be in that first 4 or 5 year bliss and they be like, including me. Well, nah, I wasn't in the first 5 year bliss talking about being happy and shit. Like, I was already like, this shit is not what I motherfucking signed up for. I was already. I remember, one of the girls that I was cool with at the time, she was like, why don't you just get a novel? And I was like, well, we done did it now. Like, we was arguing on the honeymoon, nigga. We was ignoring each other on the honeymoon. I should have came right back and got that shit no. For real, for real. But I'm so thankful that I have my children. That's all the thing I got to be thankful for. No, I did have time to develop myself and I grew just understanding where I went wrong in jumping into that relationship. But jumping into that relationship really taught me a lot of things about not jumping into. Hey, jumping into a relationship taught me how to not jump into relationships. No lie. And it taught me to take my time. It taught me to make sure that I know a person really well, because sometimes we'd be like,
oh my gosh, he is just such a dream. He just does everything.
And then 6 months down the line, we realized that nigga ain't shit. And that was all the front to get some, you know what I'm saying? They just wanted to hit. They put on the front, they got comfortable, and then you really start to see who the real person is. And sometimes it's not that they just want to hit. Sometimes they might want to think that they want a relationship, but you haven't experienced enough of that person to know a person well enough to know if they are really compatible. This is the reason why I don't or wouldn't suggest going in talking about, well, this is what I want long term and da, because it's like, you don't even know if you like me. You haven't even had a decent conversation with me before you start talking about what you want out of life. You don't even know if you might be wasting your time telling me what you're expecting early on, and you haven't even held a conversation. So I was not able to comment on the portion about red flags because equipment technical difficulties. But a red flag for me when dating is conversation. What is your conversation like? Because if we can't hold a decent conversation without it being about bullshit or without it being about sex and all of that type, and I don't want to say that I don't want to talk about sex at all or ever, but if the basis of the conversation is leading or revolving around those things, then it definitely throws off my interest tremendously. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay. I'll be cool without you. So, and that's the thing. Anything can be a red flag. Red flags are individually based because what's a red flag to one person might not be a red flag to the next person. We might not have a problem. But for somebody that is not suited for you, then that'll be a red flag. So it's hard to say that one thing is a red flag or, you know what I'm saying, this is what you should look for. Because even narcissistic people, they know how to hide those well. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody can put on the front for a very long time and, make it seem like they are everything that you could ever imagine. And long end of the short,
he know good and damn well he ain't shit. And
until we come to the realization that
I am a man and I can be a dog,
and the fact that
just because I'm a man doesn't mean that I'm a dog. It doesn't mean that I'm going to hurt you, that I'm going to misuse you or abuse you. Just because I'm strong, a leader, and dominant doesn't mean that I am going to try to control you or dominate you. It just means that I have a strong sense about myself. And as a leader, I need a person who can walk with me so that we can push the culture together. Together. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to push the culture forward together. But as a man, you got to trust that I can lead you. As a man, you got to trust that I can understand you and I can support you and that I can be there for you. But also, you have to let me in.
and oftentimes we don't those things doesn't don't always transcend well. A lot of times people think that women are looking for a thug or somebody who's going to, beat them up. And what we're really looking for is strong leadership. What we're really looking for is strong backbone. Like, if something's going on, you can not always fix a situation, but at least stand up for what it is that we have going on. Like there are very strong and dominant women. There are very weak men. Those two type of people should be together. There are very strong and dominant men. There are some very, very weak women. Sometimes those people should be together. Then there are well rounded, strong, educated men who are leaders, providers, and caretakers and nurturers and everything else. And then there are women who are strong leaders, submissive, nurturers, caretakers, and all of those other things. And those people should be together. I think that there is room at the cross for everybody. I think there is a match for everybody. That's why I say that monogamy isn't for everybody, but poly isn't for everybody either. And any relationship where you're adding somebody else is poly. But any relationship that is more than just yourself is going to take work. Shit, the relationship with yourself take work if you really work on it. But most people don't. They avoid themselves. So by avoiding themselves, they avoid doing the work that it takes to even know who, what would be a good mate. All right, that's it. I'm about to get on up out of here. I'm getting on up out of here. Getting on up. Getting on up out of here. I'm getting on up. Swisher.
Swisher hoes. Out. Peace out.
Speaking Freedom presents Good Head Group, providing advanced spiritual studies and personal developmental insight. Brought to you by Love Gang and Speaking Freedom. We look forward to helping you grow in all the areas of your life. We hope that you find all the information needed for your growth. God bless. Please listen to all disclaimers provided. If you are currently under physician's care, please maintain that relationship. This is not intended to stop your current treatment plan. If you need physician care, please seek out medical attention. Please note, all results are based on the individual's ability to adapt and adjust to any given environment and situation. We are not responsible for your results at Speaking Freedom. The life enhancement coaches at Speaking Freedom provide information to help you grow. You are responsible for maintaining that growth, taking on and then applying the information to your individual life as you deem needed and necessary. This may contain and explain explicit content. Please use parental discretion. For best results, you will need an open mind, the ability to research, and a balanced lifestyle.
Please join us daily for your inspiration and motivation.
We have the entire world to offer you at your fingertips. Your life enhancement coaching specialist. Thank you for choosing us to assist you in accomplishing your personal and professional goals. And have a beautiful day. In love, we trust. This is brought to you by Good Head Group, Love Gang, and Speaking Freedom. We thank God for you, and we love you.